The Slaney project is a collaborative project between LawPro, Teagasc, IFAC, the local county councils and Tirla. And at the beginning of 2023 within Tirla we decided that the focus on water quality needed greater intensity and to build on the work of the ASAP programme that already exists. So over 2023 and into 2024 we have been working collaboratively to look at the root causes of the water quality, to estimate the resources that would be required to solve the water issue on the Slaney, and to put together a support package for our farmers. And elements of that support package is to add more resources on the ground and for those advisory people to work with our farmers in a very constructive and supportive way to look at their nutrient utilisation efficiency, to look at their farmyards and the layouts of their farmyards and potentially how they could be improved, to look at their slurry storage, and ultimately to build a package for each farmer to improve their nitrate losses and therefore to improve the water quality in the river. And ultimately then IFAC are also adding support to help our farmers to model financially what their requirements might be, and also we will advise our farmers on the funding that's available both from Europe, from the EIP that's available, and indeed from the Department of Agriculture. So ultimately here we want to work constructively with our farmers to support them, to bring them new knowledge and to enable them to sustain the derogation and to sustain their way of life. And that will be a huge contribution to the economy of rural Ireland, because the loss of the derogation to rural Ireland will be an economic catastrophe. This was something that you know, at the beginning of a year, sometimes you set out your stall and you decide, look, there are certain things need to be done, and we had 2 projects, but this was one of them. And you know, we just said, look, let's pick the Slaney and clean up the Slaney. It is one of the worst rivers, so in terms of nitrate excess, and that was a good reason, but it's also a multi-enterprise river. So, you know, there are other rivers across the south of Ireland that are more intensive from a dairy point of view. They actually have lower nutrients, but that's an aside. But here, I think that if we succeed in this collaborative approach and all of agri approach, whole of sector from an agri point of view, but also with the other agencies, with the county councils and the other agencies that I've mentioned, LawPro and Teagasc, if we succeed in this collaborative exemplar project here, it's just proof that Ireland should hold on to its derogation, and it's proof that we can solve all the rivers of Ireland in the same way.
It's great to see Tirla with all other key stakeholders launch the Slaney Catchment Farming for Water project. The objective is for everyone to work together, and particularly driven by farm families, to make sure that we're improving water quality. And that's absolutely essential, of course, as well, to ensuring that we maintain and re-secure the derogation, which is so important to the farming sector and so important to the dairy sector in particular. I look forward to continuing to work with farmers, to continue to work with Tirla and with all key stakeholders to make sure we continue this massively important work. And I thank all involved in this Slaney Catchment programme for the great work that you are about to commence and continue over the months ahead.